Welcome to today's mobility routine. If you haven't already, get yourself nice and comfy on your mat, flat on your back. Just take a couple of nice, deep, relaxing breaths. Deep breath in, directing that air deep into that belly. And we'll slowly let it all go. And allow yourself to settle into a nice, relaxing rhythm. A nice pace of breath that helps you find calm. Imagine breathing in happy vibes of gratitude and healing. And as you exhale, just imagine letting go of any tension, any stress, any anxiety. Just breathe it out and let it float away. We'll continue to scan through the body, feeling for anything that's carrying tension, whether that's your head, your neck, your traps, your shoulders, your arms, your pecs, your lats, your hands, your torso, your hips, your thighs, your calves, your ankles, all the way down to your toes. Wherever you're carrying tension, just feel it float away as you let go of that air. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll start today's routine on the left forearm extensor. So your extensors sit on the back side of your palm side. So we'll go palm up on that lacrosse ball. And just feeling out where you're carrying tension. There's a lot of different layers of muscles here to work to open the fingers and open the hand, extend that wrist. If you do a lot of typing, these tissues can get really sensitive, really tense. So do a little search, feel out what you need. And once you've found that target, allow yourself to settle in to the right amount of pressure, the right angle of pressure, the right position of your hand and fingers. And you can use that right arm to guide the amount of tension that we've got there. Apply enough pressure to get an effect without pain. And let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll switch into the right side. So let's go palm up, working through the top side of that right forearm, using that lacrosse ball. And again, feel out what area needs attention. Feel out how much pressure we need to apply to get an effect without anything else tensing up, without getting into pain. Just experiment with it and go with what feels right for today. And every chance we get, circling back to that breathing rhythm, doing your best to sync that target area to your breath. As that air floats out of your body, imagine all that tension through that target area floating along with it. And just let as much of your body find calmness and stillness as possible. Focusing on good quality diaphragmatic breathing at that nice rhythm and pace that helps you relax. One more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll transition into some wrist circles. So we'll go both wrists at the same time. We find it easy to access this just by resting your forearms on your knees, sitting up. And start with nice, easy circles. And as we work our way through the minute, challenge yourself to really carve out new range. Where you feel your wrists are most restricted, really make them work into those corners. Working within your pain-free limits. And challenging yourself to find new limits. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And we'll sigh out that breath. And we'll transition into a little wrist traction. We'll start with the left wrist. Just grabbing your hand at the very base. Just giving a gentle pull away from the direction of your arm. This should be very subtle. Should be zero pain. All we're trying to do is increase a little bit of space in that joint and allow it for better movement. And if there's any level of pain here at all, just ease off on the amount of tension you're applying until you've settled into the right amount of tension for today. Mentally, living in your happy place. We are fairly active in this routine, so it can be challenging to stay passive. But just doing your best. Relaxing everywhere you can. Only using the muscles we absolutely need. One more breath here. As we exhale, we'll transition into the right wrist. So with your left hand, grabbing that right hand around the base of the wrist, giving a gentle tug of that hand away from your arm. And again, zero pain, absolutely minimal discomfort. All we're looking for is that nice subtle pressure release in around the joint itself. And while we're here, scanning through your body, relaxing through your face, your head, your neck, your feet. Any muscle we don't absolutely need just to hold this position and perform this exercise. Let's take one more breath here. As you exhale that breath, we'll transition into a downward dog. So let's walk those feet and hands together in that pike position. And just settle into a nice combination stretch. We want a little bit of wrist here, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of knees. You push your head through your elbows, we'll emphasize those shoulders. You pressing those heels towards the floor, you involve some calves and those lower hamstrings. Just free for all a little bit, feel out what you need, feel out what needs attention. Actively working into those end range positions. And let's take one more long, deep inhale here. Take your time exhaling. And we'll shift our attention on your left quadricep. Let's go back to that lacrosse ball face down on your left thigh. And work your way through the lower part of that quad. So that might be the teardrop muscle on the inside. Might be the vastus lateralis on the outside. Might be your rectus femoris right around the middle. Whatever feels like it needs attention today, let that be your focus. And then work yourself into the right amount of pressure. While we're here, we can add some motion through the knee, pulling that heel in towards your hips. Just feel out what you need. Nice relaxed headspace. Doing your best to sink that target area to your lungs. following a nice rhythm of breath that helps you relax. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll switch into the right side. So if you found a good spot on the left, feel free to start in that same area on the right. And if it needs the same attention, let's stick with it. And if it feels like it needs something different, keep searching until you find what it needs. You might be on the medial side, the lateral side, right in the middle. Might be right in tight to the knee, might be slightly higher. Whatever needs attention in that lower quad area, let that be your focus. Settle into the right amount of pressure, the right angle of pressure, and the right posture. Some movement through the knee here can give an active release effect. And remember, all of these cues are just options. There is no quote-unquote right way to do this exercise. There's only what's right for you. So do your best to stay in tune with how your body's responding as you work your way through this exercise and through the rest of the routine. We'll take one more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll transition back into a downward dog position. And the focus for this part is going to be on the knees. So doing your best to get that knee as terminally extended as we can, so as straight as we can. Working within your pain-free limits. It doesn't have to be completely locked, but really try to feel for a stretch through that hamstring, through the back side of that knee, maybe a little bit of that upper calf. Feel out what level of stretch feels right for today. And then settle into the position. We are fairly active here. Work yourself into a nice calm state of those hamstrings, as calm and relaxed and passive as we can. And one more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. You'll move to the left side popliteus muscle. The popliteus sits in the back side of that knee. If you're not super in tune with your anatomy, don't stress finding the exact location. Just feel out what needs attention on the back side of that knee. And you might even be up in the hamstring. Just feel out what feels right for today. You might find it useful to get a bit of motion again through that knee. Just doing a miniature quad extension on that lacrosse ball. You might add a bit of extra tension and force pressing down on the thigh. Whatever this exercise looks like, it should be pain-free. And it should be helping with your specific needs. Every chance we get, circling back to your breathing, finding that nice pace, rhythm, and shape of breath. It helps you find calm. Let that breath calm your mind. Let your mind calm your body. One more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll switch to the right side. And again, if you found a really good spot for attention on the left, feel free to try that same area on the right. You know this side needs something different. Feel free to go where it might be. If you're not sure, just feel it out. And if there isn't anything in particular, just go with something. And then settle into the right amount of tension and pressure on that lacrosse ball. Settle into the right posture and position, right angle of knee. Again, some motion through the knee can be helpful. Just feel out what's going to work for you today, physically and mentally. Following those nice, deep, diaphragmatic breaths. Nice, relaxed head space. Focusing on nice, positive vibes coming in. Letting go of any tension or stress. One more deep breath here. And we'll sigh out that breath. We'll shift our attention back to the left side in a single leg saddle stretch. So start by pulling your left heel up towards your butt. And if sitting upright in this position is enough of a stretch, feel free to stay right there. If you have the flexibility for it, feel free to lean back onto your elbows, or even all the way back flat on your back. Working within whatever your pain-free limits are. The video's here to guide you, and your body's here to help you refine. Just pay attention to how your body's responding as you work yourself into the stretch. Settling back into that nice relaxing rhythm of breath. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to press this left shin down through the floor by using your quad. Let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension. You can grab onto your foot for support if you need it. Ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1, and let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the hamstring, trying to actively pull your heel closer to your butt, ramping up that tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out. Let's get nice and passive. Scan through that quad area, relaxing anywhere that feels like it's carrying tension. Anywhere in those surrounding tissues. Relaxing through those stress muscles. And mentally go into your happy place. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll switch to the right side. Starting with that passive position, pull that right heel up towards your hips. And again, if sitting upright is enough of a stretch, feel free to hang out right there. If you've got the flexibility for it, feel free to lean back all the way to your elbows if you can. If you have more room, all the way flat on your back. Just as you work your way in, always be sensitive to how that body's responding. If something tenses up, something doesn't feel right. Just scale back until you've found a position that does feel right. And really all we want is a stretch. A nice relaxing stretching sensation through those quads and hips. And in about 10 seconds, we'll start to get active here again. So feel free to grab a hold of your ankle if you need to for support. And let's go ahead by activating that quad, trying to press that foot through the floor. Resist the stretch, change the direction. Let's ramp that up as we go, finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Actively trying to pull that heel and hip closer together. Ramping up that tension as we go. And let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath and get nice and passive. Just submit to the position. Relax into that stretch. Mentally, just allow yourself to completely buy in, almost as though you're ready to fall asleep in this position. There's nice relaxed headspace. Relax mentally, physically. I'll take one more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And for the last portion of this exercise, we need a compression band and a resistance band. So we're going to start by wrapping the knee with that compression band. Going from the lower quad all the way across the knee into that upper calf. And while we're doing this, do your best to keep that knee straight. We don't want to put too much pressure directly on that kneecap as we're moving the knee. So ideally keeping it straight as you can, adding a good amount of tension and pressure, working within your pain-free limits. And once you're wrapped the opposite end, we're just going to loop resistance band to a door frame or to a rig, loop it around your ankle, and just gently sit back until you've got a nice stretching, pulling sensation around the knee. And there should be zero pain. All we're feeling for is that nice tension, pressure release around the joint itself. And then once you're there, we're going to cycle through contracting the leg and slightly rotating it inwards. We'll start by contracting through your thigh, making the leg as straight as you can, grabbing your shin bone with both hands, and then gently rotating in towards your right side. And keep cycling through that, working within your pain-free limits. Flex the leg, grab the shin, rotate it in. And you may be able to sit back and get a slightly more aggressive pulling force with that band. Again, working within your pain-free limits. And one more time, flex that leg, grab that shin, rotate it inwards. And we'll take a breath and detach yourself. Pull that heel out, unwrap your leg. If you need to, you can pause the video if you're pressed for time. And we'll just wrap that right leg in that extended position, again, being conscious to not bend the knee while you've got it completely wrapped to protect that patella and joint surface. And then once we're wrapped, linking the right heel through your band, getting that pulling force, sitting yourself back. We've got that nice tension force in around the knee to reduce that joint pressure. And then again, we'll cycle through this, gently flexing those quads, gently grabbing your right shin and giving it a nice subtle rotation inwards towards your left side. And keep cycling through that. And keep experimenting with how much you're flexing that quad, how much tension force we're applying with the band, how much rotation. All of this should be well within your pain-free limits. If you've got pain here, we need to really back off or stop. Pain is a sign we're being a little too aggressive. If you're brand new, err on the side of going nice and easy. Working your way through that cycle. Band tension, flex quad, rotate that shin. And we'll keep chipping away here for these last 10 seconds. And let's take another breath. Deep breath into that belly. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. You can unhook yourself and we'll call it a day. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope you enjoyed the routine. If you did, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.